Dark Soul. What is a Dark Soul? Who is a Dark Soul? I don't know. So, clearly this is not, you know, the goofy boy with the dog and duck. Doesn't matter. We're talking about games I like, games I love. And Dark Souls is it. It's the thing. It's everything. It is it is a game. Uh this franchise, infamous but also famous for being very, very difficult. This is my first introduction to the FromSoft games. Played it on the 360. Yep. Had a friend who, game shared with, played it. Damn. Ever since that, Dark Souls 3 rolled around, I was on that. Scholar of the First Sin, I was like, whoa, there's a 2? Of course there was a 2. I played the third. Of course it was going to be 2. So I played the second. Wow, what a game. What a game. But aside from that, this is where it began for me, and I want to express how much I love this game, dude. This is it's amazing. So Dark Souls Remastered, released was it May 23rd, May 23rd or May 25th, 2018, and this was pretty much the definitive edition of Dark Souls. I played the original back then, a couple years ago. Can't remember how long ago, but it was a couple years ago. Played that, loved it, and when this came out, I got to enjoy the DLC. Beautiful game, beautiful story. Honestly, I can't really tell you the story. I know my usual format, talk about, I give you a short introduction about the game, the story, without spoiling it. This game, bro, its story is super. It's okay. It's not hidden technically, because the way you get story, more story from this game, aside from the essential, beginning cutscene that is there, you gotta read items. So each item or weapon, whatever, doesn't matter, has a small description about the lore. You could pull up a sword and literally find out more about the lore of this place. More about, like, oh, who's fighting who, what's going on, who did I kill. Like, it's crazy. Honestly, I would just tell you to search up that one guy that knows all the lore of Dark Souls. Literally look that up for yourself if you want to know the entirety of the story, because I can't explain it. I don't even know what a Dark Soul is. Who is the Dark Soul? I'd said that before already, right? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But yeah, the Dark Soul. From what my understanding, you make your character, and you're pretty much the undead, but the chosen undead, as you find out later. But I'm pretty sure the lore guy tells you that, like, you're not really the chosen undead until, like, you do the trials, because there's certain requirements you have to do to progress the story. But pretty much, you just make your character. That's the undead, the chosen undead, and essentially you kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say kill God, because that's Final Fantasy, but you gotta fight. You just gotta fight these demons. These crazy lords, as they say, these lords, because you get the soul lords, lords of souls or something like that. These are like the bigger bosses in their own dominion. You gotta that's pretty much the objective. You just gotta kill bosses to get to the final boss, and then you get to choose an ending. That's how usually it is. I'm doing terrible explaining this, but again, I'm not really spoon-fed the lore. I have to go watch a video or go read item descriptions. I mean, listen, I prefer the videos, because that guy's voice is awesome, bro. He has a nice voice, and he just tells me what's up, literally how it is. Any questions I have, he answers them. Aside from, what is the Dark Soul? What does that mean? I don't even know. Are we the Dark Soul? Are we the Dark Soul all along? I don't know. It's probably the case. But yeah. So, pretty much, we, the player character, the protagonist, us, whoever we make, uh, we start off in the asylum, where all the undead, mostly all the undead are kept, and, from there, the chosen one, technically, the gods choose someone, and that's technically us. Later down the line, we'll find out. But yeah, essentially you leave the asylum by doing, the tutorial, boss, all that stuff. This is literally the tutorial place. The sane asylum, or whatever it's called, the demon asylum. I literally don't know this place, dude. What am I talking about? But this place, yeah, the tutorial area. You kind of just shows you literally verbatim how to play the game, and sets you up to understand that what's going to come ahead is going to be bad. With that being stated, we are going to talk about the gameplay. So, as I mentioned before, I'm very familiar with the franchise, the Dark Souls franchise, and the company who does the Dark Souls. I've been playing their games, okay? Literally, I don't know if you notice, if you look at this gameplay, I'm pressing my triangle button to pick up items or look at stuff. That is completely wrong. It's been a while since I played Dark Souls again, so that's how far along I've come to getting comfortable with Elden Ring. But I love this game a lot more than Elden Ring. Actually, hold up. Okay, when I get there, I'll tell you why. But this is like clearly the superior. No, this is actually not the superior Dark Souls out of all of them. If I had a ranking, it'd go 3, 1, 2. I'll explain why 2 is in the bottom. But yeah, this one I really enjoy. Its gameplay is really fluid. Okay, maybe it's not really fluid. It's clunky. Like, there's gonna be a lot of examples of me performing these backstabs. I'm gonna literally just walk around, fellas, and stab in the back. That's just how these guys were programmed. It's super easy to do, super cheesable, but it's alright. It's mostly like when you get better equipment and whatnot, you can still do the same thing, but like when you're fighting huge bosses that, you can't stab in the back, you're gonna, do the dodge, do the heavy attack, slash, whatever. If you're doing the melee build. Of course, there's other stuff you can do, magic and whatnot. We'll get there. But yeah, essentially the bare bones combat is just you press your R1 and then R2, and then you just drink your soup, orange juice, yummy orange juice. But there's a lot to this than just pressing those buttons. Surprisingly, this game has a lot of like hidden stuff behind it. Like when you first fight the tutorial boss, there are many ways you can beat it. With your starting class, you can just take like the black fire bombs, and then you could just instantly kill this boss in like a couple hits. It's not really that hard to fight against this enemy. Literally, you just throw, and if you want, like, to conserve, you could just smack it for, I don't know, like 3 damage if you want to just kill it. And it's cool. You get something out of that instead of like doing it the normal way where you run to a side room, pick up the starting items, like starting weapons like you get for the designated class. You can just pick up as a gift the 10 fire bombs and just deck this guy easily. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We gotta talk about pretty much the starting classes. It's essential to gameplay. It is also determined how you will build your character. So when you boot up Dark Souls, you get to choose what class you want to pretty much use. So essentially, you have your normal warrior. You got your knight, wanderer, thief, bandit, hunter, sorcerer, pyromancer, cleric, and everyone's somehow favorite deprived if you're like super hardcore. But they all come with their different levels, their different stats, all of them dependent on, what build they're tied to. In this game, there are technically the 3 magic classes. You have your normal magic, You have your pyromancy, which entails like, I don't know, like poison, fire. It also gives you like, one of them is called Power Within, gives you a buff and all that stuff. Essentially, pyromancy is pretty broken in this game. If you're trying to like do a magic build, getting all like the best type of magic is kind of hard. But again, all magic in Dark Souls is broken. Like literally, what are you gonna do? You want the game to be easy? Just choose him. Just be a just be a mage. You know, if you just, it's pretty much, that's like the, I wouldn't say easy mode, but it's just easier for people who are not familiar with this game to, you know, step back, either play with co-op with your friend, and just literally you can stay in the back and shoot magic beams. Doesn't matter. But the last one, the miracles. I'm not huge on miracles, but in this game, lightning goes crazy. I think lightning goes crazy in every game. I don't know. Thundaga, right? Who knows? Not me. But yeah, usually you get to also choose a starting gift. For me personally, I do like to go knight, but I do know that over the years that for Dark Souls 1, Thief is probably like the best class because he starts with a Master Key, which is one of the parting gifts you can have. It's really good for like early game. You know, you get to open up doors that you need keys for that you'll find later. But if you know your way around the world, you would choose the Thief so you can get a better gift. Like I said, the black fire bombs, very good. I use them a whole lot, but sometimes you'll get the Master Key if you're not doing that, or Goddess' Blessing, which is an insta heal. Twin Humanities are always good. That's 2 Humanities, which you know what? No, we'll talk about Humanities. Humanities are pretty much essential to make yourself human. In the starting, you know, when you create a character, you can look at yourself, create the human you want to. But when you start the game, you are undead. That means you're this crusty paste of a human being. Cry about it. You just get better at the game, get the humanity, and then you're winning, right? Don't know. I do know, but it doesn't matter. So they're really good because you can use these humanities to, you know, heal yourself, like I said, or you can upgrade your fire bond. Fire bond? Wow. Your bonfire. Your bonfire is it's a huge, it's literally it's your resting area, pretty much. It's where you store your checkpoint, so when you do die, you get to respawn there. It instantly heals you, and later on has more applicable appliances to it. I don't know if I should say it, but you get to do more with it in the future, and in other titles, it's also very helpful for other management things. But bonfires are your save points. Very helpful, beautiful. Humanities also, I guess, upgrade your bonfire. That is very cool. But yeah. So that's pretty much it. You can just create your character how you want, start your gift, and continue with how you want to set your game up. All the fun jazz, right? Cool. But yeah. So before I get to a little bit further, when I'm talking about gameplay here, and I mentioned how when you come across the first boss, there are 2 different ways to go about it. I mentioned before that you could just stick around and use your fire bombs and defeat it like that. If you so choose to and just get it done with, you will get a weapon, a unique weapon that is tied to defeating the Asylum Demon before grabbing the Estus Flask or grabbing your starting weapons. So I don't know if people know that. I thought it was interesting. Thought I should share that with you. There's a lot of uniqueness to this game that kind of goes unseen sometimes, and it's very, very interesting. I like that. I didn't know that personally until I was told about it, and then I tried it myself, and I wanted to share it because it's small details. Small details are awesome. It makes a game, unique in its own way. It has its little moments, and I adore those. Those are really good. But yeah, pretty much the combat, like I said, R1, R2. You get your little humanity, your little bonfire thingy. get your weapons, and about these weapons too. Whenever you get a new weapon, they all have requirements, stat requirements. So the Asylum Hammer, the demon hammer that I just picked up from the Asylum demon, it has a 46 strength requirement. So this is, this is an RPG, typical RPG. So you will have to level up. You have to kill enemies, grab their souls, and use bonfires to level up. And depending on what you want to level up, you can plug them into whatever stat you need. These stats, pretty much help you with, increasing your health. That is with vitality. Attunement increases how much spells you can carry. Endurance is how much stamina and equipment load you can have. Strength, of course, ties into, the strength requirement, and also how much damage you do with the weapon. Dexterity, kind of the same thing. There are some weapons where you can, not reach the strength requirement, but use it with two hands. But with Dex, you always have to meet the requirement to use the weapon. And Dex is its own little scaling, technically, because there are different weapons that have different scaling, strength scaling. So you might want to focus more on strength to get the maximum damage instead of Dex. And there are Dex weapons that require you to focus more on, the dexterity instead of the strength to perform more damage. The resistance, gonna be honest, Chief, resistance, I think that just increases your blood resistance, poisons resistance, and curse resistance. I don't think it increases poise that much. I don't think it increases poise, but I do think it increases your physical defense as well. But I'm not sure. I really don't touch that. I can't say for 100% sure. Intelligence. All spells scale off intelligence. The more intelligence you have, the more damage you'll do with that spell. Faith, it's kind of the same thing as intelligence, but mostly faith focuses on pyromancies and miracles. The higher your faith is, the more damage you'll do. So that's pretty much it. There's humanity. Kind of is like your luck stat in a sense. The more humanity you gain, the more likely you are to get an item drop from an enemy. So, pretty good. I do think that you get a damage increase too. I don't remember entirely if you do, but off the humanity stat, you do get a pretty much an increase to your damage. Don't hold me to that. I'm not entirely sure, but I do know that it's tied to item discovery, so that is cool. But yeah, that's pretty much the rundown of the gameplay that you interactive with. You're using spells if you're a mage, or if you're a pyromancer, you're using faith. And then if you're doing your normal dex or strength builds, you're mostly focusing on that, and vitality and endurance. And yeah, essentially this is, I don't want to say D&D-esque, but it's your traditional RPG where you want to allocate your stats, how you want to build your character, and ultimately how you want to beat the game. So that's pretty much how it is for gameplay. There are a lot of different things about this. I do mention before that how you fight the enemies are all different, and there are interesting things about these enemies too. You would think oh, I'm safe, where I'm at, but these enemies will follow you. They will do whatever they can to get up to you. Like I said, I mentioned before, the Asylum Demon, he does a crazy ass move if you decide to just go through this fog wall. If you didn't kill him already, if you enter the fog wall and you're already on top to jump down and stab him, right here I can show you that you can either stand up there, look at him, taunt him, whatever you want, or jump down and stab him, but he will come up there and bring you down. So plan accordingly, and quickly, of course, but be safe. This game has surprises still. I still get messed up terribly. I will have cuts here and there. I will have failed attempts. I'm not perfect at this game. Most people that put a lot of time to get to where they have no hits. You know, let me get back. There are people who play this game and are just doing extremely well. They know what this, you know, the ins and outs. Me, I'm just the guy. I'm just the guy playing the game. I'm just gaming. But yeah, I had moments before where like bosses would jump off, or you know, there's this one boss in the future that I don't think I'll ever show. But if you do decide to play this game, you'll confront them, and then you can instantly kill them if you just hit their feet at a right angle and just keep hitting it. They'll fall off, instantly die. Another one where you hit its hand, falls off, dies. In the environment can be helpful to, you know, get rid of certain obstacles. Always take care, you know, always go up the stairs. But yeah. As for the gameplay portion, there's nothing much to say. Nothing much to show, but R1 and L2, brother. That's all I gotta say. Oh yeah, the shield. Parrying goes hard in this game, dude. Parrying is so easy. I can't do it in any other game. Maybe in Dark Souls 3, I don't know. I literally no clue. But in this game, I'm most comfortable with. But it's really good, really broken. Literally, when you fight any enemy that has a sword, parry that, stab, boom, insta death. Love it. Can't tell you enough. But yeah. That's it. That's pretty much gameplay. Oof. World design, bro. That's gonna be hard. But I can say a lot. So, for world design, Firelink Shrine. Perfect hub world. I'm gonna be honest. Tutorial area, the Undead Asylum, alright? In the tutorial area, the Undead Asylum, it is, you know, it's an asylum. You know, it's run down. It looks nice. No, it doesn't really look nice. I'm lying to you, dude. It looks horrible. This is literally where you wake up and you're like, where am I? Why am I here? Who put me here? Right? You're just like, ew, gross. And then when you get out, you're like, damn, finally. The bird brought me here. Thank you, the bird. And you're like, wow, bird up. But yeah. Firelink Shrine is essentially your hub world. You're going to find yourself here no matter what. Somehow, some way. And you know why you're going to find yourself here? Because the fucking world design, bro, is crazy. This world is interconnective. I love it. It's so cool. I don't know if you notice, but like, there are multiple paths to take, essentially. And sometimes, yeah, if you take a path, you might find yourself at a dead end. But usually you're not. No. But sometimes when you find yourself in these dead ends, you'll always find a place to come back to. You'll always find a way to get back to the Firelink Shrine. There's always some hidden coffin, some boss you fought that teleports you back. There's always going to be some way, shape, or form, some door that will open up for you to get back. And you're always going to find yourself circling back to here. This is where it all starts, and that's where it's all going to end. That's not a spoiler, technically. Maybe a little bit, but that you don't know. You won't know why. You literally won't know why unless you play it. Play the game. Do it. Anyways, but yeah, we got, you know, one side where it's just a bunch of gravestones, stoner. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of stuff right there. You know, these skeletons just come out of the ground. You're like, bro, what? I gotta run out of here. You know, and then you just grab these items and whatnot, and then, of course, I know what's down here, but you don't know what's down here. There's a entire different area in just heading towards this place, and honestly, you can literally go there and then get back to Firelink Shrine. Literally, just circle around. There's technically more up past the, like, there's a barrier preventing you to go any further, because again, there are certain requirements that you have to do to progress the story to open up these barriers. But you will always find a way back to Firelink Shrine. But that is just not the intended way at the moment. There is a different way as well, where it can bring you underground. and it leads you to one of the important areas you have to go to, and you can technically do the 2 requirements out of order. You can do what everyone does, at first, is go up to the bell tower and then go down to the bell tower. So sometimes people would just like to go down and get that done, while other people would just like to progress normally through the game and go to where the intended level is, you are. Because like what? You start out, you're like either level 6 or 5, whatever. If you go somewhere else, you're dying 100%. That skeleton, he messed me up. He hurt bad. I was scared. And now I gotta fight him. Why do I gotta fight a skeleton? Because of me. I did that. Why did I do that? Because I'm just showing you stuff, man. I'm just exploring. And that's what's cool about this. You could just explore the entirety of the world. To some degree, because like I said, there are requirements you have to do to, get further into the game. But yeah, I literally can walk wherever I want to. And it's nice. It's awesome. It's really cool. This is like it's not an open world game because it is all small, but in the grand scheme of this, like how it's all designed, I said it's all like connected. It literally is. Like you can be all the way up into this like castle and then find this one elevator and it literally takes you back to Firelink Shrine. Like that's amazing. You literally have a shortcut from point A to point B to where you gotta ring that bell all the way up there to all the way down here where you just started. And it doesn't really stop there because, like I said, you can go to the bottom of like where the Firelink Shrine is, and there's another elevator to take you to a different part of the game. It has lore behind it. It used to be the old city that's now built upon, but you can just go there. You can go to a different room. You can just pretty much circle around. I like that. I really do enjoy how it's not a big circle, but this game shows you that this world is a connected world, and it's not just certain levels that you go in and go out. There is a game that does that, though. There is a Dark Souls that does that, and I won't talk about it, but it's cool. But like, this game it's beautiful. It's beautiful how it's all connected, and I enjoy it. I like how you go to the depths and circle, just wander there and find your way up to the heights. It's really cool. And there are like all little hidden secrets all about, stuff you gotta jump to or fall down, climb up a ladder that you can't see, hit an invisible wall. Like, who decided putting a visible wall was a good idea? These guys did. And you know what? I like it. It's really cool. I want more invisible walls in my game. I don't, because I'm gonna miss it. I really am gonna miss it. You're gonna make me paranoid and hit every single wall. What's wrong with you? Why would you do that to me? But yeah, it's beautiful. I like it. 10 out of 10. Perfect world design. Again, it's a pretty old game. They remastered it, so it's gonna look a little outdated, but bro, you can't outdate this game, man. This is everyone's comfort game. 100%. You go back here and you're like, I'm home. I'm home, papa. Where you at? But yeah. There's a lot more to say. Of course, I'm just talking about how everything's connected, but not like specific areas. When you like go up to I think this is the Undead Settlement, or that could be a Dark Souls 3 world. That could be a Dark Souls 3 area, for all I know. 100% can be, but I'm gonna say it because it's funny. But yeah, you can literally just head to this settlement here, the Undead Settlement, and you just see the world like being. Oh, it's called the Undead Burg. It's called the Undead Burg. Oh, I'm so goofy, man. Alright, yeah. So you come up here to the Undead Burg and you're like, damn, it's an entire town. Like you can imagine how lifeful it is, like how much life is in here. And now for plot relevance, the plot stuff happens. You're like, damn, these guys are crazy. Why are they all crazy? And that's for you to go find out. You gotta go figure it out. You know, you travel, you will know why. But yeah, for these, you know, when you're walking through, these small little moments are all beautiful and whatnot. You know, you're going through, picking up items, looking at the decayed walls, decayed stairs, and you're like, buildings broken down out of nowhere. Boom, dragon comes down. You're like, what the freak, bro? What's going on? But you're looking up and you're like, man, I gotta get up there. I gotta explore. I gotta look around. And let me tell you, when I first played this game, I don't want to say it was breathtaking, but when I first walked up those stairs and saw the dragon come down, I was just like, I was ready for it. I was ready to sit down and invest so many hours into this game just to see where, like, how far I can go. How far can this game take me, you know? Because I know this game was supposed to be hard. Like, I had friends who played Dark Souls, and they told me about it. And when I picked it up, I was expecting things to be difficult. My first time around, I didn't die for a long time. I was really bad at the game, but, you know, I didn't die for that until, like, I got to, I don't know, yeah, that dragon. And that's where I was like, damn, it hit me. I was like, damn. So that's how it's gonna be. Because listen, when you cross that bridge, you gotta run. I'll show you why if you gotta run. But yeah, you gotta run. But yeah, going down here, you meet this like random dude who sells you stuff. He's like, oh man, buy my stuff. If you kill him though, if you actually kill this guy, he gets you a really good dex weapon, a katana that does bleed, and bleed is broken in any game. 100%, not lying, literally carried me most of the game. Not in this game, but in the other games. Pretty good, but yeah. He's also the guy you can talk to do the infinite soul glitch or something like that. Look that up. I'm not telling you how to do it. But yeah. And they're all unique in their own way. This isn't the birthplace of that one character called Patches, because he was in that Demon Souls game. But yeah, he's in this game, and honestly, he's iconic. He's in every Souls game, and you can't take him away. He just has this voice that you either hate, or love. I don't know, man. Iconic character, and every NPC that you meet in this game has a story. They all have their own agenda, their own, you know, their own shit going on, man, and it's cool. I enjoy it. I'm telling you, that one guy who knows the lore, he tells you. He has that Prepare Not to Cry series, bro. I heard it and I cried. I didn't cry. It was really interesting though. I liked it. But I'm getting myself distracted, dude. That's not the world. Well, it is part of the world. The NPCs are part of this world. They are what Dark Souls is. Don't listen to me. But yeah, Undeadburg, as you know, your starting area, very cool. You know, your first introduction to like how the game works, and in itself it shows you this decayed world, this decayed castle town, pretty much, that you're, you know, getting through and exploring. What do? Who do I meet? Who do I see? Don't know. Do I go up or down? I can't go down yet. So you go up. Keep going up and up and up, and you always find your way. But I really like it. It's even though visually this is an old game, you still find beauty in it. You look into the sunset with this one guy who has this funny shirt, and you're like, man, I'm gonna give you a kiss in the face. And you're like, damn, that's great. I love this game. But yeah, I'm gushing about the world because, again, this is probably like peak design for like an early 2000 game. Not early 2000s, like 2010. I think this game came out in 2010. Wow, I don't know if that's true. I'm not gonna search it up, but I think it came in 2010. Probably like 12. I don't know. How'd I get that item? But yeah, this is probably like the most fun and honestly, one of the best Souls games you can play. It's a good introduction for anyone. Of course, I think, again, it is a Souls game, so it's going to be difficult. So, yeah, tread with ease, brother, you know? But, yeah. So, music. This game lacks music. I think it lacks me. Okay, hold up. Let me get this straight. It doesn't lack music, but you're not going to have a theme playing while you're walking around, you know? You, in this world, you're not going to have the luxury of listening to music. You yourself are, you know, you are this character. You are born into this world, lifeless and dying. All right, you're not gonna have the Zelda music, you know, the castle town going on, bro. It's quiet. It's just you in the steppes, you in the monsters. It's literally you by yourself in this entire world, out to get you. You hear the sudden firebombs crashing down, the fire of the bonfire, the calmness of the waters. If you're near water, it doesn't matter. The only place where you get sound, the serenade of music, are in specific areas. An example would be the Firelink Shrine. That place. That is the calming of this entire berserk monstrosity that's happening here. Why are there so many guys in a room, you know? But yeah, there's nothing calm about that. There's nothing calm about you getting slapped, you getting thrown somewhere, people throwing stuff at you. You are alone in this world, and having no music to accompany you just makes it more unsettling, technically, you know? Because you will be, I'm gonna spoil this little era, you're gonna be in the sewer, and out of nowhere, some guy's gonna drop on you. The guy with the sack and the butcher knife. He's gonna drop on you, and you're not ready. You're literally not ready. There is no indication that you're getting into combat. None. This isn't Kingdom Hearts, brother. This isn't Zelda where you hear, watch out! None of that. You're gonna die, or you're gonna live. That's it. Okay? That's how it's gonna be. And what you do with it is what you do with it. But now, forget about that. Because we are talking about music here, you know? Music, like I said, my favorite thing. It's always good. I like to just listen to whatever, jam out. And honestly, it's upsetting to me that, like, you know, if I want to hear what Dark Souls has to offer, I gotta be stressed out. I gotta be in a boss fight to hear good music. And although I love music a lot, Dark Souls 1 music isn't really... It isn't my taste that much. But okay, listen. It's not for me. I won't listen to my own aside from one track. Maybe 2 tracks. But they do set the tone of whom you're fighting. It sets up that this is a fight. This is a boss fight. You are in here for the long haul. No matter what build. Unless you're, you know, never mind. Unless you're goated. If you got, like, the good build, you're just there for, like, a couple minutes. Maybe, like, one. Couple seconds. Who knows, bro? You're goated, bro. Look at yourself. You're good. You're doing great if you know how to play this game. If you don't, and you're just, like, looking up a tutorial, good for you. Because you're at least attempting this game. And you want to, like, at least beat it, okay? So, don't worry. You're fine. But, yeah. You're going to just be, you know, in this boss room, having this music, and you're just going to be a little stressed out. 100%, no matter what. Unless you're comfortable with these games, you're not gonna enjoy the music. You're gonna be thinking about, how do I dodge this guy? And yeah, it's a little upsetting, but if you think about it after, and you just like, or if you're like trying to focus, and then you just like also don't tune out the music. If somehow you just like, you're focusing really hard on this boss, and the music just amplifies your thinking, like you're like getting a little pumped up, right? Or you're getting a little anxious. The music affects how this game plays. Like, if you think about it, if you sit there and you're stuck on, say, the goofy-ass Tartarus demon, or not that guy, whoever, right? Just one of the bosses. And we'll say the Asylum demon again, right? You know, tutorial boss. You're just there, and you're, like, looking at him. And, like,
daunted by like how his ginormous hammer looks, and you're just like, man, he's huge. You know, if you're going after him, bro, it's gonna hurt. You know, you're like, I don't know how I should approach this. You know, if you're new to the game, you're gonna wait for him to do what he can do, right? So the music just sets the tone for this battle and how you are going to perceive the entirety of the battle, and how are you going to fight the boss. And I enjoy that. I think, as much as I don't listen to the soundtrack, other than playing the game, I enjoy just having the music there for when I'm doing those epic battles. It just sets the tone, and it's nice. It's comforting. Looking back, of course, but like, it's just it's epic. It is an epic, bro. Your story is an epic. Because epics can also, it's your Odyssey, bro. Yeah, okay. But I love it. It's beautiful, and I can't really say much because I did ramble on about the little trinkets here and there about gameplay, and then how this is a massive world. Technically, it really is huge if you like just walk around and you just see how everything's connected. All these characters come together, all have their individual story, and it's beautiful. And I want to at least give people the chance to listen to a piece from this game that some people have not yet achieved. This is a very difficult game, and just because it is a remaster of an old game, and just because it plays exactly like the old game with small differences here and there, it is not something to take lightly. This is a Souls game. It will be difficult. There are areas and enemies that will give you a hard time, but at least for this moment here, with my experience and why I want to at least share this game that I love, I will gladly let you listen into this beautiful piece. This is I'm not gonna spoil it, and I'm not gonna put it in because that is listening to knowing the name of this song, knowing the name of this piece does spoil an enemy. I'm not gonna say what, but this right here is, I think this is Dark Souls. This right here is Dark Souls. And with that, Dark Souls is Dark Souls. Yeah. Dark Souls is Dark Souls. Beautiful game. Okay. Enjoy your water. Bye.